Okay, so recording started. Let me share my screen. Okay, so yesterday actually I was trying to implement some sort of this kind of architecture. Okay, right. When any file getting uploaded, in our case, I took the example of an JPG file, right? So when that file getting uploaded into the S3 bucket, it will trigger an Lambda, and Lambda is going to download that file to its own place and will perform some sort of operation. Whatever needed, you can add as per your logic there in your Lambda function. Okay, that's a layman structure I am explaining, but the real structure is something like that. Okay, this is the architecture. Okay. When a user uploads an image to an source S3 bucket, okay, so that means what kind of event is happening? There is an event happening, object created event, right? And when this object is created, it is going to trigger an AWS Lambda, okay. And what basically this Lambda does? This Lambda adds an watermark, okay, adds an watermark. You can add a logo as a watermark. So this is the ideal example of this thing. This is the ideal example of OLX, right? We usually used to we all know about OLX, right? This is an resale site, and when you upload some images, so there is some sort of image getting, okay. Just take a look this image. Okay, now see, when this guy has uploaded this mobile image for selling purpose, did he added this OLX logo manually to his image? No, right? He did not do it. Some the application did it by itself. Okay. Do you think there is someone manually in at the OLX and doing it? Because every day millions of our users are uploading millions of numbers. Okay, millions of numbers of images for their selling purpose and all the activities. So is it possible for someone to manually add all the logos there? Because this guy has uploaded something like this many number of images, right? So is it possible for someone to add these logo? Think about also no broker. You can find number of web applications there. If you go to, okay, Bangalore is fine, which your hostel. Let's take a look. Locality. Now see, take a look at this image. Okay, it's not allowing me to just take a look these images. Everywhere there is a no broker watermark. Okay, how this thing is happening? That's what exactly we were trying to implement. Okay, when the user is going to upload the image, okay, after that in the backend there will be a Lambda function. I'm not saying that no broker has did the same stuff. I'm saying this kind of stuff can be achieved in the AWS cloud too, and to do that, this is the architecture. Okay, this is the architecture. That's what I'm trying to explain. I'm not sure where they have did whether they have used Azure or might be they also have used the AWS. We cannot find out that one, right? Because they have did it secretly and securely, so we cannot explain or we cannot expose that thing. So that's what we were trying to implement, and for that you guys can see I have also created yesterday one complete repository in the GitHub. Okay, this is my organization and this is the repository name S3 and Lambda with all required code. Here you guys can see this is the application code which is completely written in Python. Okay, which is completely written in Python, and here you have to modify the values. Okay, this place you need to modify the source bucket so that it is going to be deployed to that bucket where you are trying to, or you are actually targeting to upload your watermarked images. Okay, if you scroll down there in the readme also, lots of stuff are there. There is also an high level architecture explanation, right? User uploading the object, then event is getting created, it is triggering the AWS Lambda, and read image, then it will write as watermark, then write image, and then re-uploading that image back to the same bucket again. Okay, so there is so much stuff. And if I get into my AWS, right, so there are multiple components in this project. What I am explaining right now, there are so many components involved. Okay, so many components involved, but the major one which we have to consider right now, or we should be concerning about, or we should be thinking about, only S3, because S3, these all things started from S3. So we are still stick to S3, and don't think about Lambda and other stuff, because I will be explaining Lambda in our Lambda session. There I'll explain all the components, all the features available in Lambda. But since those are integrated part of this project, we need to do that. Let me show you what are the resources I have used. Okay, so let me open it. This is the S3 tab where I have opened. I am going to also open the Lambda. So Lambda is a serverless compute device. Okay, serverless means there you don't have to care about the configuration, how much memory needed, how much RAM needed. You don't have to care about. You just go ahead and deploy your code. Okay, whatever needed, that AWS is going to manage itself. Okay, this is a complete ideal example of PaaS. We know that there are three formats: AWS Cloud or any cloud works upon that. One is IaaS, another one is PaaS, and another one is SaaS. Okay, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. Okay, so Lambda is an ideal example of platform as a service, where we don't care or we don't think about the platform configuration. We are not responsible for any management there. We just have to create the function and get into there and upload your code. See the Python code which I shown you in the Git repo, it's available here. I just uploaded. Okay, then it started work. I did not do anything. I did not selected this is the RAM like the way we did in the EC2 creation, right? I did not do anything. I just uploaded and it started working. And when it started working and how this is working, let's take a look. Okay, so this is the bucket which I created for this testing purposes. And within that bucket, we are having two folders. One is uploads, another is watermark. That means this folder, okay, someone uploads any, this is my primary folder. Okay, all the user base is going to upload their images to this folder. Okay, I have uploaded one sample.jpg. Let me show you how it looks. It will be downloaded. Okay, it redirect me. See, there it says complete black screen image. Okay, it's a complete black screen image. Now let's get back to the root again and get into the watermark folder. Okay, in watermark, somewhere I think I have added an additional path or logic is added. That's why it again created a uploads folder. And mark my words, this uploads folder is created by that Lambda. Okay, by the logic or the Python logic, whatever added in that folder. And in the uploads folder, there is the same sample.jpg file. If I get into there and try to take a look, see the difference. There is a watermarked word. It's a stamp added to that image. Okay, it's a sample file which I did. If you guys have any jpg file, you guys can also share with me. I can also add there so that we can find out whether it is working properly or not. or let me see if I have any other file. Okay, let's get into upload file, verify. Do I have any sample file? The formats need to be JPG. Okay. If you guys have any image, anything JPG related, you guys can also share with me. Okay, this is a JPG file, but the issue is here that if I am going to upload this one, the watermark is in some white text, so it will not visible properly. Or what we can do, let me show you the test here too. Let me delete this one, show you this thing from scratch. This thing I did actually yesterday. Close. Now it's clean. Okay, my uploads folder is clean. There is no file. If I get back to the watermark, then uploads folder, again I also have to delete this one too, so that I can show you the real demonstration. Delete object. Okay, close. Now see, there is no file even in the watermarked folder. Now get into there, uploads. Before that, let me show you one more stuff, how we usually work in the real time, whether the lambda is actually getting triggered or it's working or not. So how can we do that? For that we need to go to the monitor section. Okay, in the monitor there will be CloudWatch metrics, dashboards, everything available. This is the stuff we are going to discuss, and I am explaining all the components regarding CloudWatch in our CloudWatch session. But right now, since we are on the Lambda, we have to take a look there. Okay, see, there is view CloudWatch logs. Logs means it is going to show us what exactly happening on this Lambda at what time. Go to the CloudWatch dashboard, there will be log groups available. Okay, here are the log groups. Now see, this is the log group. Okay, if I get into there, okay, this is the last log got created at that moment. Okay, and now I am going to upload object. So I mark the timing. Once I upload the object now, then after that you are going to see, I think it will create a new log group. It is not going to, because see, the date is 30/07/2026 and today is 31st. So definitely I am expecting it to create a 31st log group, a new one. Let's go ahead and test it out. Okay, I will be uploading, add file, sample, which is the black screen image, upload, close. Okay, it got uploaded. Now before verifying, let's get into CloudWatch logs. Let me refresh. Okay, see, there is a log group created for the 31st, which is today, right? And if you get into there, see, this is the logs, the detail log, right? What exactly happening in our Lambda. Okay, so in real time, always, as a DevOps engineer, you are going to look into these stuffs. Reading logs is a very important skill. Okay, but right now, if you see, there are not that much logs available. Why? Because the Lambda function which I have just deployed over that Lambda, it's a complete dumb Lambda. Okay, I have not optimized this one. Why? Because we are just only I'm demonstrating this thing only for our lab, right? It's not in real time, but in real time you are going to have so many stuff added to there only to see your logs properly. Okay, either you are going to do it or someone from the backend team, they will hand over a lambda function which is written in any other language to you directly. Okay, and they will ask you, okay, this is the configuration, go ahead and set it up and execute this thing there. Okay, but nowadays, most of the time, if it is something related to automating job, or if it is something cloud related stuff like this, okay, then definitely you are solely responsible to write that lambda function in Python. but the one we are doing by like adding watermark, it's not our job. We will be doing what? Okay, in real time, you are going to write a Python function, okay, which will be triggered on a specific date or on, we can say like on every weekend, it is going to trigger and it will scan your whole AWS account. If there is some stale resources present, it is going to rip them down. Okay, that is the ideal example of cloud optimization. So you are not going to have any ideally store any resource which are not being used there. ସୌମ୍ୟ ବୁଝିପାରିଲୁ ଏଇଟା କଣ କହିଲି? ଗୋଟେ ପୁରା ରିଏଲ ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ମୁଁ କହୁଛି। ଯଦି କାଳେ ଲାମ୍ବଡା ଫଙ୍କସନ ଆମେ ଲେଖିବା, ଆମର କୋଉଟା ହଉଛି ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ, ଆମେ ଯୋଉ ଲାମ୍ବଡା ଫଙ୍କସନ ଲେଖିବା ସେଥିରେ ହଉଛି କଣ, ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ଟାଇମ ସେଟ୍ କରିବା ପ୍ରତ୍ୟେକ ରବିବାର ଦିନ ସକାଳୁ ବା ସୋମବାର ଦିନ ସଞ୍ଜ ବେଳେ, ଏକ୍ସାକ୍ଟ ତମେ ଟାଇମ ଦେଇପାରିବ ଯୋଉଟା ଚାହିଁବ। ସେଇ ଟାଇମରେ ସେ ଲାମ୍ବଡା ଫଙ୍କସନ ରନ୍ କରିବ, ପୁରା AWS ଆକାଉଣ୍ଟ ସ୍କାନ କରିବ, ତା ଦେହରେ ଥ୍ରେଶୋଲ୍ଡ ଭ୍ୟାଲୁ ଏଡ୍ କରାହେଇଥିବ। ସେ ଥ୍ରେଶୋଲ୍ଡ ଭ୍ୟାଲୁ ହିସାବରେ ସେ ଚେକ୍ କରିବ ଯେ ଏଇ ଯୋଉ ରିସୋର୍ସଟା ଏଠି ହେଇଛି ଏଇଟା ଇନଏକ୍ଟିଭ ଅଛି, ଲାଷ୍ଟ 2 ଦିନ ହେଲାଣି, ଗୋଟେ ଦିନ ହେଲାଣି, 6 ଘଣ୍ଟା ପାଇଁ। ତ ସେ ତାକୁ କଣ କରିବ, ଡାଇରେକ୍ଟଲି ଡେଷ୍ଟ୍ରୟ କରିଦବ, which definitely is going to save a lot of cost. That's an example of cost optimization. That's the stuff we are also going to add in our resume too, like cost optimized in a cloud environment by 25% or 30% by creating this project. Okay, you are going to have a lambda function which will be scanning your whole AWS account on every specific time duration, and it will scan or it will look for a specific threshold value as well, which will be set in our lambda function. And then after that it is going to, if that threshold value like crosses the lambda or the resource creation duration, then it is going to destroy that resource, and it will make sure that resource is no more, not that much important, and that's been in stale condition for a longer period. That's an example of cloud optimization. That thing also we will be doing. Okay, but as you can see here are the logs. Okay, that means there is no error logs and it executed successfully. And if you want to see error logs, that is also an interesting thing. Let me show you error logs. When I was trying yesterday, there are so many error logs I was getting. Okay, see, this is an error. When you are going to encounter an error in a Lambda, the error log will come something like this. And here what it is saying, 403. Okay, so this means access denied. Okay, to what? For operation. There is some operation it is trying to perform and it is getting denied there. An error occurred 403 when calling head object operation. Okay, this kind of errors make sense so that you can get back and fix the issue and again retrigger. But right now the latest log says our lambda got executed successfully, right? So which means it should have re-uploaded that same image with a watermark tag, right? Let's, where we can verify, we need to verify that in the S3. Go to the other folder. What is that folder name? Watermark. Get into there, uploads, and if you remember, I also have deleted that image as well from this location. But right now you can see there is one new image, and see the date when it is modified, 31st, today, right? It today, just few minutes back. Get into the image and let's open it. Now see, it is watermarked. If you want to make it dynamic, add a logo, that's another stuff. Okay, that's another stuff, that's completely into Python. That thing, anything we can do. Okay, anything we can do, but our sole, the objective of this lab is to explain you how this thing can be automated. Okay, and from where it all started, from this S3 lambda properties event notification, right? All started from here. We created this setup, give it a name, created this setup, give it a name watermark 1, right? And there I am saying if anything getting uploaded in the uploads folder, so pick it up. If anything getting uploaded in the uploads of folder, consider it as an event trigger. Okay, Then after that, what are the operations you need to focus? All object create events. That means only when someone uploads anything. At that moment, consider it as an event triggering condition. Otherwise, if anything removes or if anything restores from the glacier to your standard, don't consider any of them. Okay, only when any object getting uploaded or created. Then where you are going to trigger, what will be our destination? The destination will be a lambda function. And this lambda function, before configuring this feature, I already have created in the same AWS account in a different location or in the lambda dashboard. And there I just provided the lambda air. You can see what is the name here, image watermark. And if you go to our lambda, what is the name here? Image watermark. This is the function. That's why it is getting triggered. And you can see here the diagram, it is also saying the S3 is triggering this one. And is there any destination? No, I have not added any destination yet. We can add a destination too. Okay, instead of re-uploading the same image to my same S3 bucket, I can add another one location where I can re-upload that image. Okay, in real time, what will happen when someone is going to upload a image through your web application? Let's assume your web application is a no broker. Okay, and someone has created their ID and they want to post a thing there. They will add images, right? Once they add images are going to be or expected to be uploaded into this directory. Okay, there will be directory structure on user basis. Okay, let's suppose my name is Pritam. There will be a uploads, then Pritam folder, and within that there will be my images only. Once my images are uploaded into that, then eventually there will be a lambda is going to trigger, and it is going to pull all the images from that directory and mark their watermarks like they have did it no broker, or you can see like the OLX. They will add their watermarks, and again those all stuff will be re-uploaded into a different location. It may be a same bucket, different folder, or maybe different bucket, or maybe different account bucket. Anywhere they can re-upload this thing. Okay, once that processed image is available, then that thing will be going to fetch through their web application, which will be visible in your accounts. Right? That's exactly happening here. These people have not uploaded anything with the OLX tag, right? But they have uploaded the simple images. And once they uploaded those images, there is the backend logic which just process that image and store in a destination location. And from that destination location, this web application is fetching those images. Make sense, guys? Or any doubt here? So this is event-driven architecture. When we put the object, the event got triggered and it performed or it triggered an action, that is the lambda function. And that lambda function performs an logic and it performs some stuff. Any doubts, Somya, Durga, Susri, Anjali?
Okay. No, as a developer engineer, what kind of setups we are doing here? Like,
Yeah, that's
developer are pushing this images and
see
watermark pop-ups.
first
That's
thing.
those of things. Yes, yes.
Okay, okay,
Tell
nice question. Let me explain you that too. Let's have a um, doc section here and I'll be mentioning here. Okay. So Durga's question is, as a DevOps engineer, let me note it down here. Okay. As a DevOps, right, Durga? This is what you are asking me.
yes, yes. Yes.
Okay. First thing, since this thing happening over cloud, right? And as you are the owner of the cloud, you are going to create all the resources there. Okay. Is Google Docs down? Am I audible, guys?
Yep.
Okay, not sure. I think something happened at this dock side. You guys can see an issue occurred and offline access was turned off. Okay. Uh, might be some issue. Don't care. Anyhow, weird. This is all only docs. So, as a DevOps engineer, what are all our responsibilities in this project? Okay. All cloud resources will be created by us. Okay. Now, if you are ask me what are the cloud resources are present there, first one is S3, right? First one is S3, which we will be creating. Second one is Lambda, right? Just take a look how many resources we just does during this project. Lambda, then uh, IN role for Lambda execution. I have told you, right? Otherwise, it will not work because S3 and Lambda, both of them are isolated. They don't have the ability to communicate with each other. IAM role is who is going to communicate between them. Then cloud watch, right? Where I show you the logs for Lambda logs. Okay. Then this is the related stuff to AWS. Once you are good with that, then what we have to do? First, you created all the cloud specific stuff. Then after that, streamline deployment flow means what I am trying to say here, automate deployment using pipeline or popularly known as CI/CD, right? And what are the tools you can use there? Tools can be used
Yes,
Jenkins,
GitHub Action.
right? The popular one is right now is GitHub Action. Or there is one more AWS code pipeline that is the native pipeline tool for the AWS, but mostly organization using right now these days. Okay, so what exactly the flow? Let me tell you one more time. See, this is a repo, right? Don't think about this is my repo. Think about this is your organization where you are managing the code for this kind of operation. Okay, and someone means your development team. They have uploaded their code, their Python code where in this folder. Okay, they have uploaded. I am talking about complete real time. I am explaining end to end what exactly you will be doing there. Okay, this thing you don't have to care about. This will be taken care by your development team, and you are going to ask them, hey, go ahead, create a feature branch there, something like feature affix. Okay, they will be creating a feature affix branch from main, anything they can name. Okay, depending upon their requirement. So see, the new branch got created and they will work only on this thing. Okay, now let's get back to main again. Main is our main branch from where we are going to perform a release. Okay, release means from this place all the deployment is going to happen. Once they will start working on the sources, then after that you are responsible for creating the resources in the AWS, right? How real time works? In real time you are going to create resources using Terraform. Just take a look. This is the Terraform code. This code need to be written by a DevOps engineer. This is the major responsibility. Okay, let's add that stuff too. Created by us. I'm adding this thing here. Terraform code developed for above resources. Whatever resources I have listed above, okay, those all code need to be terraformed. And who is going to write those terraform codes? You are going to write those terraform codes. How you will be writing? That is completely simple. That's nothing complex there. Okay, every complete simple thing. We will be having separate Terraform tool sessions. Okay, when we will be moving into DevOps tool, there I will be explaining you how can you write. Okay, this is think about this is completely copy paste stuff. Okay, there is nothing anything I have did from my end. Everything is available from where in the official documentation. Okay, if you visit the official of documentation, the official site is terraform.io. Just I am showing you not to get confuse you guys or don't to put you any condition like you got more nervous. I'm showing you this thing. Okay, let's take a look. What is this resource? Okay, this is the S3 bucket. That means it will create a S3 bucket. What I'll be doing, I'll simply copy this. Okay, see what I'll be doing. I'll simply copy this, go to the search, paste there, just put the call. Okay, these are the post. Okay, some few people are having issues there, but where we can find the resource, or what you can do simply in the Google, paste your requirement Terraform, just type it. It will completely redirect you directly to that location. See, AWS S3 bucket resource as equal Terraform. Get into there and see provides an S3 bucket resource. Where it will creating S3 bucket, it will be creating that S3 bucket in the AWS. And if you scroll down, I'll tell you how easily you guys can like go through thoroughly this code section and just pick your required stuff and don't copy paste anything unnecessary stuff. Okay, you can do things. Okay, see, here is the resource block for your Terraform block for your S3, and this is the bucket name. There you have to provide, this is the text. If you want to create more advanced features like the event driven, right, the one we just created over our S3 bucket, so there is one. See, let me show you. Acceleration status, SCL grant, course rule. See, if you want to enable course rule, there is a section for course rule. If you want to enable life cycle, there is life cycle. Where is the replication request pair? Okay, server side encryption, versioning, website, transition, non-current version, everything, whatever we are doing on the console, all the steps are available here. Okay, default retention. Okay, this is for the policy. You just have to go through this documentation. See, I think this one, yeah, here it is. Subject to objects which the rules apply. Okay, and here is the destination. Okay, that is for replica set, application time matrix. Or if you want to look faster, then you can just look for the words there. Event, okay. Event bridges, okay. So, so this is the whole section where you can go through and just copy your thing stuff, get back to your code section and add the resources there and modify the values only. Okay, you don't have to think about anything else. You just have to modify your values. Okay, and if you look at this in this left side, all the resources, whatever available in the AWS, everything is available. See, there is the code for Lambda as well available. If you want to create a Lambda function, okay, see AWS Lambda function. If you add this code, which I have already added, let me show you that too, which will create the Lambda function, this row, this resource will be creating. And if I go to my code base, see Control F, Control V, see Lambda function is there. From where I did get it? Did I create it from manually from my own mind? No, I just copied from there and pasted it here. But the sure thing what I did, I modified the values. And to do that, there are certain rules which we have to keep in our mind during creation process. Okay. So this is the one more responsibility, creating all Terraform code bases. Okay. And also once Terraform resources are ready, what you have to do, establish the infra automation pipeline. Does this make sense, guys? Establishing infrastructure automation pipeline. Think about until unless there is no S3, no Lambda. So what is the use case of your application code? Because first infrastructure will be created. Infrastructure means this S3, this Lambda, the resources needed for my application in the cloud. First, I am going to create those resources. Then after I will be deploying my application code because my application will be deployed on an Lambda, right? Until unless I don't have that thing, so how can I, where I have to deploy? I cannot do that, right? So that all components are known as infrastructure. Along with that, whatever needed, if you go into the configuration section, I'll show you. See, where is the permission? See, there is a IAM role. This is mandatory for this Lambda, right? This thing also you have to create through the Terraform, everything bit by bit. But right now, since we have not moved to the tool section, we are doing everything through the console. Okay. And once we complete the whole AWS cloud session, then after I will starting Terraform. Why? Because we are where there I will be showing you how to create the same stuff, how to automate the same stuff using Terraform. Okay. And what are the advantages of using Terraform? Why that's very popular in the enterprise level. Okay, so Terraform stuff is also done. That is also DevOps responsibility. Establishing pipeline. Okay, that is also one more major responsibility. Establishing pipeline. Okay, establish infra automation pipeline. Okay, then comes if anything goes wrong, who will be fixing? Fixing all pipeline issues. That is also DevOps responsibility. And definitely you are going to face the issue there. That's damn for sure. Definitely. Since this is a new automated process, definitely you are going to have some permission issue, access issue, blah blah blah. There will be number of issues. Okay. Even though your code is working fine. One major thing, if you are trying to or you are planning to deploy through the Docker, then again you have to, that's optional right now since we are not moving to the microservice architecture. I'm just adding as an optional. but that is also recommended. Docker integration, which means you are going to have a Docker file. Right now, see, there is no Jenkins file. Okay, there is no Docker file, nothing. This is completely an just code base where I am having holding only my codes. Okay, Ajay, where I am just holding my code. This source folder holding for the application code, Terraform folder, that is the complete real structure. Okay, when you are going to work in the real time, you are going to have this folder structure like this way. Terraform structure for all Terraform code, and these are the Terraform files. But yeah, definitely there will be more advanced form of Terraform we will be seeing. And test, okay, this is the test code which I have written for our application before deploying that thing. You guys can do. And requirement.txt, this is the dependency file. Okay, these two libraries needed to create or to run resources in the AWS environment. Boto 3 is to interact with cloud native or AWS, and Pillow is to add that watermark and enhance the size, and whatever watermark related stuff will be done through the Pillow library. And this is the guide, and from where this guide is reflecting from the readme.md. If you get into the readme.md, everything is written here. So this is the stuff. Okay, and I think yeah, that's all for a project you guys have to do. Okay, that's all for this project. Okay, for this project I'm telling you the EDA. The project example is EDA, event driven architecture. There will be S3, then Lambda is going to trigger, and in real time, how you will be deploying your infra code through a pipeline, whether it is Jenkins or maybe GitHub Actions. Same for the application code deployment too. And once those are good, then you can start working on them or testing them. Okay, questions, Somyo, it's doubt. And one more important thing, guys, don't think about that you are going to do it in one night or one day. Okay, for this whole task, na, you are going to have something around 2 months or at least 1 month. At least 1 month they will allow you. They know as a senior engineer who is going to assign you this kind of task, na, they know that there are so many stuff you are going to encounter. It's not only about creating resources in the AWS. It's about deploying, it's about fixing pipeline. So many components involved, and you will be getting blocked everywhere. You have to fix them and get out of that blocked location and then move forward. So that's for time consuming there for sure. Okay. So you will be having enough time. Okay. You will be having enough time to do this kind of stuff. But since we are going through a training and I have to show you, that's why I just want to make it more fast paced so that we can cover that. That's why I did it over the night only from my by my end and to demonstrate the stuff here. Anjali, you are getting me how the things work in real time,
Yeah, Preetham.
or any doubt you have to ask here?
Not as of now. When I do it, I'll just post it in the.
Okay. So that's all about event driven architecture. Okay. But we are going to see more about event driven architecture when we will be moving into Lambda. Okay, not from S3 perspective. From Lambda perspective, we are going to see how people are explicitly using the Lambda for that event driven architecture. Okay, but for S3 use cases, that is enough or fine, we can say for now. Okay, let's move to our next up because S3 today will be last class of S3. Okay, uh, let me open. CRR event trigger, server side static web hosting. Okay, so the next thing we are going to discuss is server access logging. Okay, server access logging. So what is this thing? This thing is also a feature available in S3. First, let's take a look at the theory, then we will move into the practical or the lab session where I will be demonstrating where we can do it. Okay. So in intro, what it is saying, server access logging in AWS S3 provides details record, okay, for the request made to your S3 bucket. Okay, this is something related to logging and audit now come. Okay, we first initially look at the how to create an S3, then how what are the operations we can perform in S3 like uploading and deleting, right? Objects we checked that thing. Then after that we look into how make sure or make secure our S3 bucket by applying permissions, blocking public access. Then after I also show you how we can like make sure our data is highly redundant. That means there is no risk of losing the data by enabling versioning, by enabling CRR, right? Then after that we also discuss about the static web hosting where I show you there is an advanced feature in available in S3 where you can host the static web application. uh, at that point, I also show you the course cross origin resource sharing, and after that, we also look into the CRR, the part of disaster recovery. Then after the last one, we just discussed the event-driven architecture or event triggering AWS Lambda, and after that, this section falls into auditing or logging, monitoring of the S3. Basically, we can say this is the CCTV of S3 where we are going to take or take close monitor who are accessing my S3 bucket and what they are basically doing by enabling this option over the S3. Okay, the second point what it is saying this feature can be useful for security and access audits, tracking request patterns, analyzing user statics. Okay, so there are three options you can do by enabling this option. What are the key features? Log request, okay, logs every access request made to your bucket. Okay, it will be noting down who are getting access or who are trying to do what sort of action, who are trying to perform what sort of action in your S3 bucket. Every logs will be stored, includes request via, okay, from where if you are trying to access the S3 bucket, from where it will be recording those all things. If you are doing it from the AWS management console, AWS management console means the UI itself. Okay, then the AWS SDK, software development kit means programmers or the developers will be using this option for interacting with the AWS resources. If they are also trying to do it through their programmatic way, you can also monitor or record those logs as well. Then command line tools. Okay, command line tools means CLI or the Terraform. Okay, CLI or the Terraform or any other thing like if I show you the CLI which I have installed, I'm expecting all of you also guys have already installed the CLI, the AWS CLI. Okay, AWS minus minus version. You can verify running this command that CLI is installed. Okay, see, this is the CLI is already installed, and if you want to interact with my AWS as well, from here I can do it. I'm just running a simple command AWS S3 ls. This command list out all the available buckets in my AWS account and see it will be showing all the available buckets. See the bucket event notify lambda, right? This thing we are also trying to, we were just previously performing all the operations there. So my CLI is already connected to that bucket. Okay. ওয়াইফাই বন্ধ হচ্ছে কি? হ্যাঁ, ওয়াইফাই বন্ধ হচ্ছে কি? হুম। Hello guys, am I audible? Uh, guys, am I audible now? Hello?
Yes, Rick.
Arey, sorry man. I was not sure what happened. I was talking and then I found out your message or your Soumya's message that I am not in the meeting. Okay, let me see, share the screen. We are going through a bit. Okay. I'm sharing the screen here. Just confirm me once it's visible to you all. Is this visible now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I was explaining about the CLI, right? So that's an mandatory tool for us guys. Uh, I have already added the guide for installing the CLI in our docs. There you can see. Okay, you can follow it and install the CLI. After you install, then run these commands to verify. Okay, and then this is the command to connect your CLI with your AWS account, and these are few of the details you need to provide. Okay, so that you can establish a connection between your CLI and your AWS account. Because when I am explaining you, see, this is my CLI. Okay, let me start from scratch. If you go to the CMD or any CLI tool, you can go to CMD or you can go to PowerShell or you can go to Git Okay, whatever you get into now, then after that, if you want to verify whether CLI is installed or not, just run AWS version. It will show you a version. Okay, that means the CLI is AWS CLI is installed. And if you want to verify whether it is connected to your AWS account or not, then there is another one command, AWS STS status get minus color minus identity. Okay, that means it is going to show us who is logged into and which account right now. Okay, and if I click on enter, see, it is saying who has logged in root. That means the admin has logged in and into which account, 446. And if I go to my AWS and show you my account ID, see, 446. Okay, that means my CLI is connected to my AWS account. And how did the connection established? By running this command, AWS configure. Okay, when I executed this command, once you click enter, then it will ask you for these details: AWS access key ID, secret key ID, okay, and default region and JSON format. Since I have all those things set up, I'm not going to execute this thing. Okay, and from where you can get these all details? You can create in your own account. Go to your profile, then security credentials. There you will be see an access key section. Okay, there you have to create your access key. Make sure you download that CSV file, downloadable file, because these values will be removed once. Otherwise you have to copy and paste them somewhere at a safe location, otherwise you won't be able to paste them. Okay, so that's how I have established my connection. And if you want to verify more whether it is really working or not, then there is one more command, AWS S3 ls. Okay, so this command is going to list out all the available buckets whatever available in my AWS account. Now see, when I execute this thing, see, all the buckets present in my account are listing here. And if you can see, this is the bucket, right? Event notify lambda, right? There we were performing about the watermark operation, right? So everything is established. So CLI is also a part to access into the AWS, and definitely we need to monitor this approach as well. So that's can be done through our server logging, right? There I was telling you what are the logs request you can monitor. The AWS management console, that means someone trying to access your bucket, EC2, Lambda, anything from the UI, that thing can be monitored. Someone is trying to do it from the AWS SDK, software development kit, that can be monitored. And the CLI, right, the one I show you, that can be monitored. Okay, log information, what kind of formation or what kind of format you are going to see in the log information. In the log information, it will show you the request type. Okay, request type means what sort of API request people are trying to perform, whether it is an get request or whether it is an like put request, anything. What sort of people are trying to perform, you can see that there. Then resource, to which resource you can also monitor that too. Requester, who is the requester? That means who is the user is trying to perform, from which IP address he is trying to do, time of request, response status, what he finally got. He finally 200 or 403 access denied, whatever, or service not available, right? Whatever the response is, you are going to get all those details in your log. And storage, okay, definitely, since you are creating the logs, you have to store them because for your reference in future, you are going to use them, right? So logs are stored in a designated S3 bucket. Usually what happen in real time or in organization, they will be having an centralized logs bucket where they will be storing all the logs. Okay, whether it is S3 related logs, whether it is application related logs, whether it is any other resource related logs, they will be storing all them in a centralized log bucket. If that is a very huge or vast size, what they will do, they will start segregating those logs into different log buckets. Again, if that enhance more like hundreds of GB or 1 TB, then after that they will be having one separately dedicated AWS account where they are going to perform only logs related stuff. There will be S3 to perform store the logs from all the AWS accounts, and then after that there will be AWS Lambda or filters they have applied so that the security team or the log monitoring team can easily watch or can easily fetch the logs from there depending on their feasibility. Okay, but in this case, we are going to store the logs in the same S3 bucket in a different folder. Okay, so what it is saying, which can be the same or different bucket from the one being logged. Okay, log delivery time, typical time frame. In most cases, you can expect logs to appear in the target bucket within 24 hours after the events occur. In most cases, it is specific to S3, but I have already shown you guys in Lambda the logs generated immediately after the action happened, right? So in S3 case, it can vary. It actually varies resource to resource depending upon your charges. Okay, since we are not going to pay that much high cost for logs, or maybe it is completely free, right? I'm not exact sure. When we are going to create this resource, we can check that thing there. So at that point, if it is very low cost or it is completely free, then definitely there will be time taking process. Okay, variability, the time to deliver logs is not guaranteed to be real time. So what it is saying, as like Lambda, the action performed and immediately you got the logs in the log group, we cannot verify or we don't have an SLA with you regarding the logs. So it must be time taking. It is not real time. That means the action happened immediately you are going to see logs. No, it cannot. Log delivery frequency, okay, as the S3 delivers logs in batches, so you might receive multiple log files within a short period depending on the volume of request to your bucket. Okay, now let's go ahead and take a look where we can find out this option in the AWS S3, and for that I'll be getting into the S3. We'll be trying to check this thing on the same bucket, event notify lambda, any bucket you can do. Okay, get into properties. I think in properties we can find out that option, default encryption, log delivery to CloudWatch. Okay, see here it is server access logging. Okay, server access logging, what is a log request for access to your bucket. So basically this feature is only for all the logs or all the request is going to happen to this bucket will be monitored. If you go and click on edit and enable, okay, what it is saying, bucket policy will be updated. Okay, so they are going to update a bucket policy so that they can put the logs in the S3 bucket. Destination, in the destination I'm going to say go and upload logs in the same bucket, and in which folder. Okay, I think we should have a new folder. Okay, I don't see that. Let me go and create. Okay, I'll be creating a logs folder. Get into the bucket level and create folder, logs, create folder. Okay, see, now I have the logs folder, and if I get into my creation process, refresh, now see the logs folder is there. Select that, choose destination. Okay, so I choose the folder where I am trying to, or I'll be going to upload all my logs now. Okay, destination region is same, bucket name, logs, everything is defined. And now it is asking, okay, what is the log format you are trying to do? Okay, is it something like destination prefix like the bucket name, then the folder structure, then year like 2026, 07 month, and date today 31st, hour, time duration, or any unique string like that, or something like this. Okay, they are providing only two options, but if you're going with the second option, then after that you can also choose, or you can also modify the things, and you can see if you are going to modify the values, it will reflect something like that. But I will be going with a simpler one. Now save changes. Okay, so I have successfully enabled my logs process now. And if I'll be going to, let's try to re-upload the same process again, because I want to see the logs are getting reflected in my logs directory, right? So event notify, what I'll be doing, I am doing right now through the console. Okay, let's do this time through the CLI. I'll be delete this thing, copy, paste. I'll be also simultaneously showing you how we can upload an image or an file from the CLI to this location directly. Okay. I'll be also delete the watermarked location file. See now, right now in CLI, I am performing the delete operation, right? It should be logged as well too. And after uploading, those two be logged in. So simultaneously we are verifying the console process as well as the CLI. Let me recheck. So till now I don't have any logs because I told you there is no time duration, no specific time duration. You don't have to, you won't be able to get the real time logs there. Okay, now let's go ahead and upload using the CLI. Okay, I have my CLI ready. Okay, in which bucket I want to upload that sample file? Okay, in the uh, what is the bucket name? Event notify lambda. There is one folder. The folder name is uh, uploads. There I will be uploading that sample file. But for that reason, what is the command? That is the copy command. Or what you can do, you can simply get into the browser or open any AI tool, ChatGPT, anything. Okay, let's do that using the ChatGPT or get into Gemini. Just ask for simply uh, copy file from local to AWS S3 using CLI. I just mentioned my prompt to be more specific. So the agent would be able to understand it clearly what exactly I am looking for. See, it just bring me up directly. So this is the command. Okay. AWS S3 CP. CP stands for copy. It is going to copy the file. Then, but before that, you have to provide the path of the file. Then S3, then your bucket name, then the file structure. Okay. The folder structure and the file name. In which name you want to upload that file. Okay. Let's go ahead and but if you are see copy a file into your root of the bucket, if you are at the file location and you are trying to do, then there is no need to provide the path. So what I will be doing, I will be copying this one and I'll go to a notepad. Okay, let me open a notepad because there is some modification I have to do. I'll be doing it in a notepad. Okay, the above command I used to upload a zip file to the Lambda function. Okay, this is the CLI command you can use to upload the files into Lambda too. So this is here I am trying to perform an copy operation. So where I am having first, let's bring the path of my local file. I am having that file in my local folder. If I go to my desktop, go to DevOps S3 Lambda lab. Okay, here is the file. So and from where I can get the path from here, right? So Control C, simply copy it. Go to the notepad and start editing, right? So what I'll be doing, I'll be pasting that path here, Control V. Okay, it just pasted. Then after provide the file name, which file we want to copy. Then the file name is, this is sample.jpg, I think. Yeah, sample.jpg. Let's go ahead. Control V dot jpg. Okay, this is simple.jpg. I provided the file path, the whole path and the file name, and in which bucket I want to upload. Let's bring that bucket from the AWS S3 bucket name. This is event notify lambda, and Control C. There, just modify this one. Control V, bucket name updated. Now rename the folder name. This is uploads, uploads. Then file name, I'll be trying to have the file name as same, that sample.jpg. So I'll be naming it sample.jpg, or you can give it blank. Okay, there it will be uploading that file simply. Okay, so let's copy this. Control C and execute in the CLI. Open the CLI, and CLI is already connected, and I am going to execute, enter. And now see, let's see what will happen. Okay, see, my file got uploaded and it provided the same name, sample.jpg, and after uploading, file name is same, sample.jpg. So I did it through the CLI. And if you want to verify, see, okay, let's press, get into the uploads. Now see, I have the sample.jpg, right? This file, if you remember, I just removed few minutes, and now see 10:42. What is the time now? 10:42. It got uploaded through the CLI. And as per our event trigger approach, the watermark is also expected to be there in the uploads. See, this one is also created, but our stuff which we are looking for, it's the logs. Till now we don't have any logs. Okay, and I am not exactly sure, guys, what time it is going to exactly take. But expected is within 12 to 24 hours, but definitely we'll be having some logs here. Once we have, or I have some logs, I'll be sharing you or showing you. Okay, so with that's it, our whole S3 session is done. There are other few stuff is available, or we are not going to look into those things because those are not that much major, because I have told you whatever I am going to show you, all the stuff are real-time stuff. Okay, so we discuss what is bucket versioning, then encryption I show you also, then uh, okay, this one we just did right now, server access logging, event notification. Okay, then static web hosting, we also have did this thing. These are the stuffs we did in the properties. And if you go to the permissions, I told you what is this block public access, how to implement a bucket policy, right? Object ownership, what is ACL, how to manage objects or permissions using the ACL and policy, what is cross origin resource sharing, everything we have discussed. So with that's it. And yeah, also in the management, we also discuss about life cycle rules, right? How we can switch the storage classes from standard to archive or glacier or any other step, right? So these are the steps we have already discussed, and I think that's enough for S3. Besides that, there may be a very rare case where you are going to get landed into a new scenario, but yeah, for sure in real time or in interview, you are going to mostly interact within this area. Okay. So this is our last S3 class, and I believe we all have recorded all the sessions. Okay, you guys can go through whenever you wanted, and you can check the stuff. And if you are getting confused anywhere, feel free to post the question in the WhatsApp group anytime. I will be responding. Okay, anytime. Just don't post in the midnight, guys. Okay, just but make sure in morning anytime if you have any doubt, post there. Okay. So, anything you guys want to say or ask anyone? Because today's stuff is almost done. So, I'll be stop sharing and I will be stopping the recording too.